This evening, all eyes on January 26th. Opposition Member of Parliaments are set to meet on Monday morning to elect a leader of the opposition, just hours before Budget 2026 is presented, as Speaker Manzoor Nadir confirms the process will go ahead despite weeks of controversy and mounting political tension. A disturbing turn in a high-profile manhunt. Suspected burnt remains believed to be linked to wanted fugitive Jamal Bourne are found in Linden. As police recover a firearm, arrest 6 people, and intensify investigations into a viral shooting video. A tragedy that raises painful questions. A premature baby reportedly declared dead at birth at Amsterdam Hospital was later found alive by relatives, only to die shortly after, prompting an urgent internal probe into delivery and neonatal care. Breakthrough in a deadly East Coast shooting. Police confirm one person is now in custody following the killing of carpenter Hometown Orlando Chichester, as investigators piece together events leading up to the fatal attack. And abroad, Europe scrambles to avoid trade war with Washington as leaders meet over President Donald Trump's tariff threats tied to Greenland, a standoff that could reshape US-EU relations. Those stories and more coming up. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for January 21st, 2026. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir, has announced that opposition members of Parliament will meet on Monday, January 26th, to elect a leader of the opposition. The same day, Ghana's national budget will be presented. The meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. ahead of the budget proceedings and will be convened by the Clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs, on the Speaker's instruction.
In the discharge of my constitutional duties, which rest solely within my purview, I have asked the Clerk of the National Assembly to convene a meeting of all the non-governmental members of Parliament for 10 a.m. on Monday, the 26th of January, 2026. And this is for the election of the leader of the opposition.
In a nationally televised address on Tuesday night, Nadir said the decision follows weeks of public pressure and controversy surrounding the absence of an opposition leader since the convening of the 13th Parliament on November 3, 2025. He confirmed that once elected, the opposition leader will be sworn in that same day, clearing the way for a full parliamentary business on budget day. The Speaker used his address to strongly defend his stewardship of Parliament, rejecting claims that the National Assembly has been inactive.
The positions expressed by some sections of the media, some diplomats, and opposition members, which give the impression that the National Assembly has been deliberately inactive. They are false and outright absurdity. Our 13th Parliament, from the time it was convened on November 3rd, has been functional. In excess of 90 questions and 5 motions have been received by the clerk, analyzed, processed, and decisions communicated to opposition members.
Nadir also condemned what he described as violent, vicious, and unprecedented personal attacks against him by the We Invest in Nationhood leader Azruddin Mohammed and others, including protests outside his home. He denied allegations of corruption or sanctions, insisting neither he nor his family has ever been sanctioned or indicted. The Speaker also criticized sections of the diplomatic community and the media for calling an expedited election of the opposition leader, describing some of the commentary as absurd, while maintaining that he would uphold the Constitution without fear or favor. Despite his public concerns about presiding over the election of a leader he repeatedly described as an international fugitive, the Speaker said he will proceed with the process. As Nadir made his announcement, Mohammed and his supporters were engaged in a peaceful protest outside the Speaker's residence, calling for the elections to be held. WIN leader Azruddin Mohammed has a strong message for the PPP government, warning that he is no walkover.
still standing strong. And we will stand strong. We will stand together.
Yes.
We will represent the people of this country. We will ensure that we hold them accountable every second of the day.
Every second.
Right? And they know that they can't buy me. And that is the problem. And they know this is the first time in the history of this country you got a real opposition.
Right.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal has warned that the possible election of an internationally sanctioned and indicted individual as Ghana's next leader of the opposition will be deeply damaging to the country and its democratic institutions. Speaking on Tuesday night on Issues in the News, Nandlal said, elevating a fugitive offender to the post would seriously damage Ghana's reputation, its parliamentary system, the Constitution, and the wider Commonwealth.
We are making history for the wrong reason. And it's an indictment on the English-speaking Caribbean. For an OFAC-sanctioned person and a fugitive offender, a person who is indicted by a jury in the United States of America on a number of international financial crimes and whose extradition is being sought by the government of the United States of America, may be the leader of opposition of our country.
He was referring to Azruddin Mohammed, who is expected to be elected opposition leader on Monday, January 26th, despite facing U.S. sanctions, an indictment, and ongoing extradition proceedings. Nandlal said the PPPC has taken a firm principled stand against such an outcome, grounding its position in respect for the rule of law.
On this matter, we are proud to record our position in opposition to a fugitive offender being elevated to that post. That post, leader of the opposition, is the alternative president of the country. We are yet to understand and we are yet to assimilate what impact his election and holding that post will have on our country.
The Attorney General also cautioned that there could be international repercussions, noting signals from the United States, while making clear that the government does not support Mohammed's elevation. He said history will judge those who vote in favor of the appointment, adding that he remains unapologetic about his stance. Nevertheless, when leader and OFAC-sanctioned Azruddin Mohammed is widely expected to be elected opposition leader, with his party holding 16 of the 29 non-governmental seats in parliament. The January 26 meeting is expected to bring closure to the issue on a politically significant day as the government presents its national budget. In other news, suspected remains believed to be those of wanted man Jamal Bourne, also known as Skinny, have been discovered in Linden as police intensify investigations into a viral shooting video that circulated on social media, prompting forensic examinations as authorities work to confirm the identity and circumstances surrounding the discovery. Police have recovered a firearm and ammunition and arrested 6 people during the late-night operation in Linden, as the investigation heightened into a viral social media video showing Bourne allegedly injuring himself with a gun. The operation was carried out on Tuesday, January 20th, between 7 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. at 3 Miles Rock, Linden. Acting on information received, police ranks from Regional Division 3 and 10 conducted searches in the area, including a wooden structure hidden within dense vegetation. During the search, investigators found a pistol with its serial number filed off and 6 live rounds concealed under a mattress. Police further observed a pile of burnt material near the structure. As a result, forensic experts are examining the area to determine the origin and nature of the material. The 6 individuals who were at the location at the time were arrested and taken to the Mackenzie police station, where the firearm and ammunition were lodged. Those in custody include 3 men and 3 women, aged 18 to 26, from several communities across Guyana. All 6 remain in police custody as investigations continue. The Guyana Police Force has indicated that further details will be released as the probe progresses. Moving on, a heartbreaking tragedy has unfolded at the New Amsterdam Hospital, where a premature baby reportedly declared dead at birth was later found alive by family members, only to die shortly after. The shocking case, shared by the infant's mother on social media, has prompted an urgent investigation by the hospital's Morbidity and Mortality Committee into delivery and neonatal care practices. The woman, experiencing her first pregnancy, initially sought care at the Port Morant Hospital after encountering contractions and vaginal bleeding. She was later referred to the New Amsterdam Hospital, where she was admitted with a 24-week preterm pregnancy. According to her post, she delivered in Ward 3 without a doctor or a midwife present, and the baby was reportedly placed in a bedpan with the placenta still attached. Family members said the baby was later found alive while preparing for burial and rushed back to the hospital's neonatal intensive care unit, but succumbed shortly after. The hospital issued a statement confirming the case is under review by its Morbidity and Mortality Committee. Officials noted that medically, a baby under 28 weeks is classified as an abortus, meaning it cannot survive outside the womb. The statement noted that the hospital provided psychosocial support to the patient. The institution extended condolences to the family and emphasized that the investigation would determine whether clinical procedures were properly followed. The incident has sparked public concern over hospital practices, highlighting the need for proper oversight and adherence to medical protocols. Stick around when we return. Police make arrest in East Coast Demerara Carpenter fatal shooting. An illegal mining operation shut down in Essequibo River. Operator fined.
Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common flaws make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services. 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change or correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will open Mondays to Fridays from 8 to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 14 hours. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Police have taken one person into custody following the fatal shooting of 34-year-old carpenter Hampton Chichester, also known as Orlando, along the Bear Route Access Road, Bachelor's Adventure, East Coast Amarara on Sunday night. Police Commander for Regional Division 4C, Kali Parishram, confirmed the arrest, stating that investigations are ongoing. According to a police report, Chichester's body was found lying motionless along the Bear Route Access Road with a suspected gunshot wound to the chest and shoulder. The shooting occurred around 7:30 p.m. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Preliminary reports suggest that Chichester had recently been involved in a dispute with a man from the Dazzle housing scheme over an alleged personal matter. On the day of the shooting, he had returned home to celebrate his son's birthday before leaving to cut his hair. Police are reviewing CCTV footage, canvassing the area, and pursuing multiple leads as part of the ongoing investigation. In other news, authorities have shut down an illegal mining operation in the Essequibo River, and the operator has been fined for breaching regulations. During inspections of 9 mining sites by the Ministry of Natural Resources Corps of Wardens, officers found that one operation managed by Jonathan Rodriguez was operating without permission and mining within a designated buffer zone. The general manager, found in possession of 1 ounce of gold, was arrested, pleaded guilty in the Madia Magistrates Court, and was fined. The seized gold has been lodged at the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission headquarters. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat emphasized the government's zero-tolerance approach to illegal mining, stating that the government will not tolerate illegal activities that undermine the law and jeopardize the country's natural resources, emphasizing a commitment to rigorous enforcement of the law to safeguard the integrity of the mining sector. The ministry said inspections will continue across the country, with all breaches publicly reported. It reminded operators to conduct mining activities strictly in accordance with the law, warning that offenders will be dealt with without fear or favor. The action aligns with President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali's directives to crack down on non-compliant mining operations, reinforcing the government's commitment to protecting Ghana's natural resources. Don't go away after the break. Relentless wildfires devastate Chile as extreme heat, strong winds fuel destruction. And Karachi Mall fire. Rescue teams still searching severely damaged site.
Good girl forget things. What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. How smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. You are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether the particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Dominic Gittins. Tonight, Haitian security forces strike a gang stronghold in Port-au-Prince as pressure mounts on armed groups. Wildfires tear through Chile. Rescuers search a burnt-out mall in Pakistan. And Europe faces a trade showdown with the US over Greenland. We begin in Haiti. Haitian security forces bombed 3 homes linked to Jimmy Cherizier in Delma 6 during a multi-agency operation targeting the notorious gang boss. No casualties were confirmed. Police recovered equipment, but Cherizier escaped. The raid comes amid intensified pressure on armed groups ahead of Haiti's looming political transition. Huge wildfires have rippled through south-central Chile. Authorities say the number of separate fires has increased to 32. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
Relentless wildfires in southern Chile continue to spread destruction. Residents try to hold back the flames with branches, as firefighters bring news that the fire is rapidly approaching the rural homes below. The captain says they're running out of water.
We need more aerial resources because the terrain here is too irregular to stop the fire by land alone.
While firefighters try to contain this blaze, which is extremely wide, to save the houses that are here, on the radio we're hearing other firemen pleading for help. They say that they're trapped in another area and there just simply is no one to come to their rescue.
The fires destroyed as many as 6,000 homes in the urban Penco region of Biobío and are now spreading rapidly to rural areas. Carlos Jara describes what happened to his house as apocalyptic.
Thank God we had 2 cars for the family. I jumped in the truck and wasn't able to breathe because of the smoke. I nearly couldn't start the car because I was fainting from the lack of oxygen.
His mother Cecilia says that the wind was so strong that it threw her to the ground, cutting her knees and legs.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's that flames are incredibly fickle. They go whichever way the wind blows. That means that a house like this one that took 7 years to build went up in smoke in just a little over an hour, leaving only the nails to be used for later on. But in the meantime, the barn that was right behind the house is absolutely untouched. Nothing happened to it. The wind just didn't go in that direction. And that is what makes it so difficult for firefighters to know where to go, what instruments to bring, and especially predict where the fires will go next.
But it's not all nature. Biobío's governor says that some of the fires were deliberately lit. These satellite images show how 3 fires began in the region, each separate from each other, but in a row, almost simultaneously. 2 people have been arrested under suspicion of arson. This as the hot summer wildfires continue overwhelming firefighters, not just here, but now also in the neighboring Araucanía region. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Paredones, Chile.
Rescue teams in Pakistan are searching through what's left of a shopping mall in Karachi after a fire killed at least 28 people on Saturday. Authorities say many more people are still missing. The building contained around 1,200 shops. Al Jazeera's Kamal Haider reports.
Risking their lives, firefighters make desperate attempts to extinguish the flames. Days after the fire broke out at this shopping mall in Karachi, dozens of people are still missing. But hopes are fading that anyone will be found alive in the ruins. People here say help came too late. A senior official of the Rapid Response Agency tells us the city has several emergency response teams, but needs better coordination. Many here say the tragedy could have been avoided.
The Sindh Building Control Authority repeatedly claims that no building plan is approved without mandatory safety measures. Yet, on the ground, these approvals continue through corrupt practices. The result is a city full of unsafe buildings with little or no fire safety arrangements.
A 2024 audit of 266 buildings on 3 major roads in Karachi found only 90 complied with safety standards. Under the Pakistan Building Code, all businesses must be equipped with fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, and alarms are mandatory. and emergency exits need to be clearly marked, unobstructed, and equipped with outward pushing doors. The shopping mall had 1,200 shops. It's not known what, if any, fire safety measures they had. But rescue workers say there were no emergency exits and people were trapped in the burning building. People here say the fire is a wake-up call. They're calling for action, not merely words, to ensure it doesn't happen again. Kamal Haider, Al Jazeera, Karachi.
European leaders are trying to avert a trade crisis with the US over Greenland and President Trump's tariff threats. They are due to hold an emergency meeting on Thursday to debate imposing their own levies on American goods. The situation risks changing the US-EU trade relationships forever. Al Jazeera's Ashem Al-Helbara reports.
In the picturesque resort town of Davos, unease is growing. The US president is expected to meet European leaders here face to face, days after he threatened to impose tariffs on countries that oppose his intention to take over Greenland. The president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said Europe stands united against the move.
So our response will be unflinching, united, and proportional. This need is neither new nor a reaction to recent events. And this is why we are working on a package to support Arctic security. First principle, full solidarity with Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark. The sovereignty and integrity of their territory is non-negotiable.
There has long been consensus among EU members that maintaining strong relations with Donald Trump is crucial. War in Ukraine grinds on and fears remain high that Russia might occupy European territory. Emmanuel Macron may have invited Trump to Paris, but with his insistence on ceding Greenland, the French president has taken a harder stance.
Europe has very strong tools now, and we have to use them when we are not respected and when the rules of the game are not respected, by the way. The anti-coercion mechanism is a powerful instrument, and we should not hesitate to deploy it in today's tough environment.
Macron was referring to the so-called trade bazooka, the strongest measure the EU could use in a trade dispute, a measure that would severely restrict American goods from entering European markets. If triggered, US-EU relations may never be the same again. This isn't the first time the US and the EU have disagreed on an issue, but there is a growing sense among the Europeans that the 8-decade transatlantic alliance could be ending and that it's time to focus on building a strong EU that can defend itself when America pulls the plug on their security partnership. Hashim Al-Bara, Al Jazeera, Davos.
Thanks, Dominique. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3D Wet Forecast. And that's FTV2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other.